AIS Play รวมความบันเทิงคุณภาพเปิดความสนุกทุกที่ทุกเวลา
ส่งต่อความมั่นใจสู้ไปด้วยกันนะครับ
And we are just about ready for the start of this preliminary final, if you will. Why standing in? The pitch from Wang is fouled off of the body of the Chinese catcher Shi Kai-lin for strike one. Lai at the top of the Chinese order. She has power. She showed that with her home run yesterday, but she has sometimes tried to walk her way onto the base, sort of stepping forward and slapping the ball rather than staying in the box and putting a power swing on the pitch. Count now even at 1-1. Wang winds and fires, and that is bounced to the backstop. Another foul strike for Lai, and she's behind in the count 0-2. This Chinese Taipei team second in tournament batting average at .293, second in home runs with 5 behind Japan, of course. Check swing there, and I think Lai held up. They're going to check. They're not going to check down to the third base umpire. Home plate umpire Hashimoto happy with that, so 2-2 now the count to Lai. Wang winds, pitches, just missing outside, ball 3. Chinese pitchers have given up only 2 walks in the entirety of this tournament, which is amazing control. But the count has run full. Lai Mengting opening this game for Chinese Taipei. The 3-2 pitch in the dirt, and that is ball 4. So a good start for Chinese Taipei. Their leadoff hitter reaches first base, and for one of the rare times this week, Wang will have to pitch out of leadoff trouble. There's the Chinese coach, the American Teresa Wilson. She was born in Seattle, spent a lot of her time in Florida, speaks with a fairly strong Southern American accent. That's pitch slapped left side, base hit. The Chinese infield were shading Yan Yi around towards first, looking for the pull hit. Instead, Yan slaps it to where the third baseman Lu Ying would normally be playing. And so 2-on-none out here for Chinese Taipei. I beg your pardon, Lu was actually cheating in there at third base, and there was a huge gap just past her. And now the bunt attempt pulled back by Yang Yiting, but the ball into the strike zone for strike 1. When these two teams faced each other on Tuesday night, China emerged with a 5-0 shutout, so Chinese Taipei looking to take advantage of this early opportunity. Bunt attempt, another called strike. Yang Yiting again not offering at the pitch. Yang 8 for 21 in this tournament with 7 runs batted in, and she will probably have to do it swinging rather than bunting here. Upright batting stance. The 0-2 is up and away. Throw to first base in time. Nabbed at first. Yan Yi straying off the base. She's gunned down by Shi Kai-lin. The tag applied by Xu Jie at first. Watch her just getting too far ahead of herself, losing her balance, and she can't get back. It was very close as to whether the tag was applied before the arm came in. But now the 1-2 pitch, that's grounded to the shortstop, or the third baseman Lu looks the runner back to second and on to first to get Yang out. So this early threat for Chinese Taipei largely dissipating. Still a runner in scoring position, but now 2 outs. Fortunes can change in softball just that quickly. It's now up to the cleanup hitter, the catcher for Chinese Taipei, Li Tzu-shi. And this pitch is blooped into left field. It's going to fall in for a base hit, and the run will score. Lai taking off straight away with 2 outs. That ball just clearing the infield, short of the left fielder, Liu Yining. And the RBI single for Li Tzu-shi. And the Taiwanese have stolen a march in this game, getting on the board in the top half of the first inning. Two hits and a walk allowed by Lang Wen. Only the second run she's conceded in this competition. Yang Yiting, the temporary runner, replacing the catcher Lee at first base, as Lin Fengchen stands in, the Taiwanese shortstop. And this ball is hit to fairly deep center field, but on her horse is Chen Jia, making the catch in center to retire the Taiwanese side. But 2 hits and a run. First run for Chinese Taipei against China in this tournament. We go to the bottom half of the first. Chinese Taipei 1, People's Republic of China coming up to bat. There is the People's Republic of China batting order here in this game. The early starts on the final day of the softball competition. Li Qi, the right fielder, leading off. Li Huan, the shortstop, batting second. The designated player, Ren Min, will be up third. Those are the 3 hitters guaranteed to face Chu Anju in this first inning. Chu making her 5th pitching appearance in this tournament. 18 innings pitched. Yesterday against the Philippines, she started the game, was yanked early on, but came back to finish. Her final line, 2 1/3 innings pitched, 1 run on 2 hits. Struck out 1 Filipino batter, walked 1 and hit 1. 1 hit by pitch. 5 errors committed by Chinese Taipei fielders in the tournament, the 4th most in the competition. It's been the Chinese fielders, the People's Republic of China, who's had more difficulties in the field in this competition. The 2.57 ERA means that on average, Chu has allowed roughly 2.5 runs per 7 innings in this competition. And those are earned runs, which means that runs scored directly because of a fielding error not charged against the pitcher. Li Qi, left-hand hitter for China, to lead things off. She's 5 for 16 in this tournament. 0 for 6 in the 2 games collectively against Japan that China has played most recently. China with 3 losses now in the Asian Games, 2 of them to Japan, 1 of them to the Philippines in a very close game, as this pitch fouled away about 12 or 15 feet behind and to my right. That one lands. I'd be pressing my luck to catch a second foul ball in this tournament, particularly with the headphones on and the microphone in my face. Is the 0-1 pitch. Lee sprinting out of the batter's box to try and slap that ball, but misses, and so she's behind 0-2 in the count. Chu looking in. The pitch, that is blue to shortstop, trying to make her ground, diving, or nearly diving into foul territory, as Lin Fengchen winds up gently crashing into the fencing. Could she have made this catch if she had dived? Let's look. Probably not. Certainly not a fielding error against Lin. Valiant effort, count still 0-2 in Chu Anju's favor. Here it is. That ball is pulled foul down the right field line. A long chase for Lai Mengting, but she can't get there. I think the outfielders are loose now. They've had a chance to get a little bit of extra sprinting in. 0-2 pitch again on the way, and that one is into left field for a base hit. So a couple of good defensive swings from Li Qi. Follows up by stroking a pitch to the opposite field, and just as Chinese Taipei started the game with a base runner, China does the same here. Li Qi at first, and Li Huan, the shortstop for China, coming up to the plate. Li 4 for 14 in the tournament, had a triple against Japan yesterday, but did not come around to score. She squares to bunt and misses for strike one, and struggling to get back to the first base bag was Li Qi for China. This time the throw did not go down to first base from the Taiwanese catcher, Li Tzu-shi. One-0 pitch, again the bunt shown, and again a strike, this time of the called variety. 7 pitches from Chu Anju and no balls thrown yet. Screen graphic says 1-1, but the count is 0-2 on Li Huan. The pitch just outside. Umpire Hashimoto letting that one go by for the first non-strike thrown by Chu Anju. 2 Japanese umpires in this game. No surprise given that Japan is through to the final and no Japanese umpires will be there. That ball just fouled on the first base line, snagged by Chen Chi-ai between the 2 lines there, which signals where the runner is supposed to go. The batter on her way to first base. You can be called out if you stray outside that marked path. Relatively rare for umpires to observe that rule, usually only if the ball is right in front of home plate and the runner gets in the way of a throw. Now the 2-2 from Chu. That ball is dribbled to the second baseman. Only one play to first for Yang Yi-ting. And as sometimes happens when the sacrifice attempt fails, the fielder's choice moves the runner over anyway. A productive ground ball out for Li Huan, and now it's the designated player, Ren Min, for China. You see that ball evaded by Li Qi. If that ball had hit her, she would have been out. Ran the pitch, and that is off the tip of the glove of Lin Feng Chen. Runner's going to try and score. A strong throw to the plate. The relay is not in time. And Ren Min for China matching Li Tzu-shi in driving in a run with a single here in the first inning. Li Qi just making it around to score. It was a great effort by the shortstop, leaping up and getting something on the ball. In fact, if she had not made contact, the ball would have traveled a little bit faster, and the runner could have been thrown out of the plate with that little bit of extra time to make the throw. Good hook slide there at the end by Li Qi to evade the tag from Li Tzu-shi. So Ren, the runner, at first with one out for Shi Kai-lin, the Chinese catcher. 2 for 9 in this tournament, only a walk to show for her 2 games against Japan. And this bunt pushed down nicely the plate of first. Strong throw by the third baseman Su Yi Swan to the second baseman Yang Yi-ting covering. So this time the sacrifice works on the first pitch to Shi Kai-lin. Over to second goes Ren, the unnecessary slide. And it's up to Chen Jia. if the People's Republic of China can take the lead in the first inning here. 1 run on 2 hits for them so far as the pitch high from Chu for ball 1. Chen 5 for 14 in the tournament. 0 for 5 against Japan in the 2 games against the gold medal favorites. Second pitch misses the zone from Chu in Chen's at bat, so batters count for Chen here. A 2-0. She is swinging, but popping this one up. The shortstop Lin underneath it and makes the easy catch for the 3rd out of the inning. But both teams in the first inning have now scored a run on 2 hits, and both leaving a runner on. So after 1 complete, it's 1-1 between Chinese Taipei and China. A cloudy and slightly cooler morning here in central Jakarta for this preliminary final, the quote-unquote bronze medal game. Unlike most bronze medal games, the bronze goes to the loser of this one. The winner has a chance to play for gold at 3 p.m. GMT +7. As you see, the offensive star of this tournament for Chen Chi-ai. 1-0 count to her for Wang Lan, and this pitch fouled off to the left and out of play. Chen Chi-ai 9 for 17 with 4 walks in this tournament. Her batting average .529 is second only to Misato Kawano of Japan, and her slugging percentage of 1,000 also second to Kawano. 2 home runs in Chinese Taipei's opening game of the tournament against the Koreans. 1-1 pitch, and that's dribbled foul for strike 2. Slugging percentage is the same as batting average, except doubles count double, triples count triple, and home runs count quadruple. It's an easy way to compute the power of a hitter relative to the batting average, which is just an indication of the number of hits that he or she has accumulated relative to the number of at-bats. That pitch wasted by Wang, so count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chen Chi-ai. That pitch also low and away, so full count to the leadoff hitter for Chinese Taipei in the second, just as Wang went full to Lai Mengting to open the game. And the payoff pitch, strike 3 called right down the middle. Not sure what Chen was expecting there, but the heater for Wang, her first strikeout, and 1 away for Chinese Taipei. Guess it was toward the inside half of the plate. A hopeful look back from the Taiwanese first baseman as this pitch is bunted foul by Su Yi Swan. That counts as a strike. Su 5 for 20 according to my stats in this tournament. 1 for 3 with an RBI last night against the Philippines to help the Taiwanese reach this preliminary finals. That ball is looped into center field. It'll fall in front of Chen Jia for a hit. So Su gets something going here with 1 out in the top half of the second. And that will bring up the designated player, Lin Chi-ying. Look at this swing again. Not off the screws, but good enough. Falling in front of the center fielder, and Lin Chi-ying 3 for 15 in the tournament. Also a hit and an RBI last night against the Blue Girls, the nickname for the Philippines team. Randy Dizer's squad failing to bring home their first Asian Games medal here. And a conference on the mound. Teresa Wilson out for a chat. Wilson going with Wang to start this game rather than have Wang reserved to face Japan in the possible gold medal game for China if they win this one here. Got to play one game at a time at this stage of a tournament, as the bunt not offered by Lin Chi-ying and the pitch in the strike zone. So Lin falls behind 0-1. Lin with hits in each of her last 3 games, and according to my unofficial stats, sometimes the official stats get proofread after the fact and changed, as errors can be spotted. Not that I'm immune to errors myself, as that throw goes down to first, but Su easily back. Snap throw on what looked almost to be a pitch out to Shi Kai-lin behind the plate. 2-1 pitch. That is skied right to the third baseman, just a step into foul territory. Liu Ying making the catch. And that brings up the number 9 hitter for Chinese Taipei, Chen Miaoyi, with 2 down and Su still at first. Chen 3 for 19 with a pair of walks in the tournament. 0 for 2 last night, but had a sacrifice bunt. No sacrifice possible here with 2 down, and first pitch fouled back for strike 1 by Chen. Wang Lan, 5'11", jointly the tallest player in this tournament. And the pitch, again, right over the plate for strike 2. The World Championships of softball just concluded 12 days ago in Chiba, Japan, and Wang pitched 27 1/3 innings there. The nature of softball and baseball is that you can play quite a few games in a relatively short space of time, or in Major League Baseball's case, over a long period of time, a 162-game regular season in North American baseball. The 1-2 pitch from Wang, just outside, check swing, and did go around, according to the third base umpire from Malaysia, Nur Hajar Binti Abd Hamid. Watch it here. And that was a bad call by Hajar. Did not go around to Chen, but rung up anyway. So the second strikeout of the inning for Wang. And the 1-out single by Su Yi Swan wasted by the Taiwanese. We go to the bottom half of the second, still 1-1 between Chinese Taipei and China. The skyscrapers of the Central Business District in downtown Jakarta. Some fans in the crowd here at the GBK softball venue more interested in the on-field action than others. But this is a game off to a very intriguing start. Bottom of the second will be led off by Lu Ying, and taking ball one inside. Ying crowding the plate there in the left-hand hitter's batter's box. 2 for 3 in the first game between these two teams, including a solo home run and a pair of RBIs. And that pitch is stroked foul, sliced into the fencing down the left field line for strike one. Liu did not play in yesterday's game against Japan after 3 errors as a third baseman against the Japanese in the final game of the group stage action here. And strike 2 over the plate to Liu. She is the Chinese captain. And the 1-2 pitch pulled foul. That'll be fetched by the Taiwanese captain, Lai Mengting, down the right field line. The Chinese women trying to exhort Liu on to great things here. The 1-2 pitch from Chu Anju. Here it comes, and that's just outside. See how far outside the strike zone the catcher Lee was set up. And her positioning might have made it easy for Hashimoto to call that a ball, reaching back across her body to make the catch. See that huge gap between the umpire and the catcher. The 2-2 from Chu on the way, and that's grounded right to the shortstop Lin. On to first. Good stretch from Chen Chi-ai. And 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the second. Shortstop, generally thought to be the key infield defensive position in both softball and baseball. Perhaps not counting the catcher, who's always involved. As Xu Jia stands in, and first pitch fouled back off the screen. Xu, by my count, 6 for 11 in the tournament. She's had a very good one, despite going 0 for 3 yesterday against Japan. Had a solo home run against Japan for China's only run against the Japanese thus far in this tournament. 1 for 2 with a walk when these two teams faced each other on Tuesday night. A 1 pitch is blooped softly into right field, a long run, and not able to make the play, Lai Mengting. Xu Jia thinking about going for second there, but thinks better of it, and that'll go down as a 1-out single for the Chinese. That close. Good effort by Lai, and good backing up by the center fielder Chen Miao Yi. On such fine margins can softball games be won and lost. So again, the pattern of the game mirrored here is that ball will just have to be knocked down, and everybody's safe on what will go down as an infield single for Liu Yining on her first pitch faced. Right off the end of the bat, but hard enough hit that the first baseman Chen couldn't make the play. It ricocheted over to Yang at second base. Second baseman couldn't do anything either. And so 2 on 1 out for the number 9 hitter Liu Lili for China. Conference time on the mound for the Chinese Taipei head coach, Yang Xianming. Liu Lili given yesterday off. Had 3 hits in her first 2 games for China, but none since. So over her last 6. Taiwanese thinking there might be a bunt here, and that's exactly what Liu shows, but takes ball 1 low. Four hits now allowed by Chu Anju. Some of them harder than others. Five potential pitchers for Chinese Taipei in this game as Liu climbs the ladder and misses that high fastball from Chu. Chu stony-faced as ever. The 1-1 pitch. That is popped up. Will it make it out of play? It's a great effort. Su leaping against the fence. If that ball touches the fence, it's immediately dead. But that was potentially a catch for Su Yiswan. That would have been an amazing play if she had made it. Definitely not a fielding error there. Count now 1-2 on Liu. The pitch. Strike 3 called outside corner. Maybe a slightly generous strike zone there from umpire Hashimoto. But a big strikeout either way for Chu. That pitch does look outside the strike zone from our center field camera angle. We go back to the top of the Chinese batting order. Li Chi singled and scored in the first and takes ball 1 high. Li now with 6 hits in the now 8 games she's played. A lot of softball in a short period of time for these players. And now the count 2-0 to Li. Xu Jia on second base, Liu Yining on first. The pitch, that is stroked down the right field line, but foul. Right into the corner of the corner, if you will. Very wide foul territory in this softball stadium. You get plenty of baseball fields and a few softball fields where the foul pole down the lines and the corner are virtually one and the same. Wait till you see the baseball field next week. So much foul territory there as well. As the 2-1 pitch, outside corner, just missed this time. That, if anything, looked closer to the corner than strike 3 was to Liu Lili. Hitters count here. 3 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs in the bottom half of the second inning. Chu the pitch. That's outside, ball 4. And that will load the bases with 2 out. Big at bat in this game already coming up for Li Huan. Grounded out to the second baseman Yang Yiting in the first inning. 1 for 2 with the sacrifice bunt when these teams played against each other a few days ago. And that's ball 1 out of the zone by a long distance from Chu Anju. A walk would score a run here. That was Chu's first walk of the game there. And that pitch finds the plate for strike 1. Chu's coach Yang Shenming looking on. The 1-1 pitch into right field. That'll fall in for a base hit. 1-1 is in. The throw to the plate. 2 runs are in. A 2 RBI single for Li Huan. And it's 3-1 for the People's Republic of China. Li Qi forced to stop at second, but that ball not very solidly hit, but again, just dinked in beyond the outfield or beyond the infield and before the outfield. And that will do it for Chu Anju. She's going to be replaced by Tu Ya-Ting, who relieved Chu yesterday in the 3-versus-4 playoff game against the Philippines. Still 2 runners on as Tu will try and put out the fire. Tu has pitched 14 innings in this tournament already. 4 2/3 yesterday against the Philippines. 2 earned runs on 5 hits, walked 3 batters as well. Pitched a perfect inning against China in the group stage of the tournament. And a big responsibility on her shoulders here, coming in with runners at first and second, and Men Rin at the plate, who had the RBI single for China in the first inning. The 2 base runners, the responsibility of Chu from a statistical perspective. 1 2/3 innings pitch for Chu, and it's up to Tu to keep the Chinese lead at 3-1. These 2 teams faced each other not just earlier this week in Jakarta, but also in Chiba, Japan, in the 9-versus-10 classification game at the World Championships. That game won 6-4 by Chinese Taipei. The Taiwanese also won the group stage game between these teams in last year's Asian Championships. It's been a while actually since the Chinese defeated the Taiwanese. But let's see what Renmin can do here. Tu stepping back, and her first pitch is a changeup. Outside corner, strike 1. Not what I think Ren was expecting there, the slow pitch. Tu can throw the heater when she needs to. The 0-1, rising high for ball 1. Renmin, a disappointing World Championships, only 4 hits in her 20 at-bats. And another off-speed pitch, finding the outside corner, this time for strike 2. The view from home plate umpire Hashimoto's mask camera. The 1-2. That's grounded straight to the first baseman. Chen Chi-ai only 1 step to the bag. And so the Chinese leave 2 runners aboard, but they also scored 2 runs on the big 2-out double RBI single from Li Huan. We go to the 3rd inning. The Chinese, their first lead of the game, they're up 3-1. The grandstand on the first base side of the GBK softball field should be a little bit more full for the gold medal game later on today. Cloud cover over this softball arena as that first pitch is drilled to left center field and all the way to the wall from the leadoff hitter Lai Meng-Ting. She coasts into second base with a first pitch leadoff double in the top half of the third inning. Not sure Liu Yining, the left fielder for China, made a great break on that ball. She went in to her left and then had to double back. Not sure she could have stopped the hit, but she might have just prevented the double. As Wang ready to face Yan Yi. She takes ball one outside. Yan singled back in the first inning, but was picked off by the throw from the catcher Shi Kai-lin at first, helping to snuff out the Taiwanese offensive threat. He did get one run in the first inning, but it could have been a lot more. But Lai down at second has now walked and doubled in this game. And the tying run at the plate in the form of Yan Yi. Wang winds, kicks, fires. Ball dribbled to the first baseman. Unassisted put out for Xu Jia, but the runner across to third base with one out. Just as good as a sacrifice bunt. Slow roller easily corralled by Xu. And that brings up Yang Yi-Ting, who grounded to the third baseman Lu Ying back in the first inning. Leading the team with 7 RBIs, runs batted in, and cutting at the first pitch, just nicking it back to the backstop. Yang, one hit in the previous game between these two teams. She had been batting 5th in the Taiwanese batting order, but moved up here to 3rd for the last couple of games. 0-1 pitch on the way, and that's low and away. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Chinese infield very much in at the corners and pinching in at shortstop and second base. Trying to cut this run off. Is that pitch just outside? Ball 2 to Yang Yi-Ting. The tactical decision by Teresa Wilson, trying to make sure that any ground ball will not score the run if it goes at a fielder. The problem is that makes it that much more likely that a sharply hit ball can get through the infield. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. A little bit of a pirouette there from Yang after the whiff. Not her finest swing of the tournament. Big pitch coming up as that ball is pushed to the shortstop. The runner doesn't come home. Is caught on a rundown. Now back and forth we go. Trying to stay out of trouble here. The other runner makes it all the way across to third, and that's what was that going on? I think what has happened is that the base runner Lai has made it back into third base, but the batter Yang has vacated third base and allowed Lai to remain in play. There you see, she gets in. That's exactly what's happened. We saw a double play in similar situation earlier in this tournament. But here the Taiwanese base runners did the right thing. So Wang now pitching to Li Su-shi with 2 outs and the runner at third. This pitch is popped straight back out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike on Lee Su-shi. She had the RBI single in the first inning, came out for a temporary runner, which you can do when the catcher is on base with 2 out. Came right back into the game for the bottom of the first, and here she is, the 1-1 pitch. That ball hits a fairly deep left, but well foul. That had home run distance, but just got the bat through the ball a little bit too fast. Wang trying to escape the third without conceding a run. The 1-2 pitch. Outside corner, strike 3 called. Third strikeout of the game for Wang. It comes in a big spot to end the top of the third. China still holding on to their 3-1 lead over Chinese Taipei. Wang Lan pitching through the raindrops for China, keeping the second place team in the group stage, the People's Republic of China, with their noses in front here against Chinese Taipei. There was actually a three-way tie for second place, which was broken on head-to-head run differential between Chinese Taipei, China, and the Philippines. First pitch from Tu Ya-Ting to Shi Kai-lin, in for called strike 1. She, the sacrifice bunt in the first inning. Here, the off-speed pitch is pushed foul off the end of the bat down the left field line for strike 2. Shi Kai-lin had a very good World Championship, albeit in limited action. 12 at bats, but 5 hits. Here she takes ball 1 outside. Tu Ya-Ting, the 18-year-old hurler, induces a ground ball to second. Yang to Chen for the out. 1 down for China in the bottom half of the third. That will bring up Chen Jia. Popped out to the shortstop to end the first inning, stranding Ren Min at second base. Chen, a disappointing world championship. 5 hits and 27 at-bats, a 185 batting average. A good change up there from 2 for strike 1. One pitch, brushing Chen off the plate perhaps. Sometimes it's an intentional tactic by pitchers when hitters crowd the plate. Want to back them up a little bit, make the outside strike more effective. As that ball over the inside corner for strike 2. A double bluff perhaps from Tu Ya-Ting. At 5'9", the tallest player in the Taiwanese squad, the off-speed pitch again, a ground ball to second, and again Yang to Chen for the out. You see Chen Jia double clutching at her swing there. It was so slow, and it would have been strike 3 had she not offered at it. And Liu Ying, the Chinese captain, takes ball 1 just inside. Liu grounded to the shortstop, Lin Feng Chen to lead off the Chinese second inning. And here she trickles one foul down the first base line. Home plate umpire Takashi Hashimoto getting the brush out. Just making sure the plate is completely free of dirt. Make his job easier. 1-1 pitch. The catcher Li Tzu-Shi set up outside, and that's where Tu Ya-Ting threw it. And now the 2-1 pitch. That was not good pitch framing by the catcher Lee. That appeared to be quite close to the knees and the strike zone, but she dragged the glove down. Usually a pitcher wants to try and drag the ball up toward the strike zone in that situation. Instead, they count 3-1. And the changeup just inside. Tzu can't believe it, neither can Lee, the catcher. So a 5-pitch walk to Liu means that Xu Jia gets another chance to record a hit here in the third inning. First walk of the game by Tzu. Another changeup, adjudged low for ball 1. Xu singled and scored in the second inning. Teresa Wilson glaring in. Runner does not go from first as Xu takes a strike. Liu started to run, but that was just her taking the lead off the bag. Probably down to Teresa Wilson to decide whether a stolen base might be on the cards here. As that ball again hit to the second baseman, nicely scooped up by Yang. And so 3 assists in the inning for Yang Yi-Ting, tying a record held by many as we are through 3 innings complete here at the GBK softball field in Jakarta. Our score, the People's Republic of China 3, Chinese Taipei 1. First pitch swinging to start the fourth inning is Lin Feng Chen straight to Xu Ji at first. One pitch, one quick out for the Taiwanese in the fourth. Lin has hit the ball sharply twice, but flying out to deep center field in the first, and now the ground ball out to Xu at first in the fourth as Chen Shi-ai stands in and takes ball one high. Chen struck out looking to start the second for Chinese Taipei and tips that ball back for strike one. Slightly off balance there, Chen, but when she is in full flow, she can hit the ball a very long way. 1-1 pitch, off speed and just off the edge of the glove from Liu Li. If that ball had been about an inch to the left, I think Liu would have made that catch. Chen hit it well. The play was there possibly to be made by Liu, but definitely to be scored a hit for Chen. She now has 10 hits in the tournament. And Su Yi-Swan is up and takes ball one inside, very close to her front knee there. There's enough research out there in the baseball world to suggest that being hit by a pitch is actually an acquired skill by a batter. That ball across the inside corner for strike one. You would think it's entirely down to the pitcher in determining whether a hitter would get plunked. But the statistical evidence would suggest that the batter has something to do with it, as that outside strike to Su makes it 1-2 to the Chinese Taipei third baseman. 1-2 pitch, poked foul, just wide of first base. Count stays at 1-2 strikes. Su singled with one out in the second inning. Looking to repeat that feat here and get Chinese Taipei with a real scoring chance here in the fourth as that pitch low and away for ball two. When the Chinese scored 2 runs in the second inning, they did so after the leadoff hitter was retired. And now the 2-2 pitch from Wang Lan is hammered to left, but hooking foul. Chinese outfield treating Su as a pull hitter for the most part. Certainly in left field, Liu shading around toward the corner. And again, the 2-2 pitch. That is bounced to the backstop. Count stays 2-2 strikes on Su Yi-Swan. Su 1 for 2 against China on Tuesday. Plays her club softball for the Caesar Park Warriors and watches that pitch carefully outside the zone. Su had a .344 batting average at the World Championships. And a big pitch coming up, full count to Su. And it's outside for ball 4. Second walk of the game for Wang Lan, second walk of the tournament for Wang Lan. Lin Qiying, the number 8 hitter for Chinese Taipei, coming up. She popped foul to Liu Ying at third base in the second inning and takes a high and inside strike for strike one. Two on, one out, and that ball goes off the shoulder blade of Lin Shiying. That's a hit by pitch to load the bases. So Wang Lan showing some unexpected wildness. She did hit one batter against Chinese Taipei when these two teams met each other on Tuesday night. Critical moment now in the game. The number 9 hitter, the relatively light hitting Chen Miaoyi. First pitch, swinging for strike one. Chen Shi-ai at third base. Su Yi-swan at second. Lin Shiying at first. Chinese infield playing a little bit in at the corners. The pitch. That one's low and away for ball one. China's outfielders not paying Chen too much respect in terms of her power potential. They are slightly shallow here. 1-1 pitch, grounded back to the pitcher. She will go home for the force out of Chen Shi-ai. So the other runners move up. Chen reaches on the fielder's choice. No thought there of a double play for the pitcher Wang, taking the sure out and the out guaranteed to keep the Taiwanese at least temporarily off the scoreboard. But here comes Lai Meng-ting, who doubled in the third, walked and scored in the first. Wang has escaped trouble since the first inning. First pitch is low to Lai. Lai again had a home run last night against the Philippines. A home run here would put Taiwan 2 runs to the good in this game. The 1-0. Weak grounder though, the pitcher who's covering first base. It's the second baseman, Liu Li gets there in time. And Lai, the weak dribbler, cannot get the run home. The Taiwanese strand 3 on the bases in the top of the fourth. The People's Republic of China still leads this game at the halfway mark by 3 runs to 1. A few Chinese fans in the crowd. The People's Republic of China flag on display there, and the leftmost beyond the outfield wall. As leading off the bottom of the fourth, Liu Yining taking an off-speed pitch for strike one from Tu Ya-ting. Liu, the infield single back in the second inning, and she came around to score on the RBI double by Li Huan. 0-1 pitch. That's pulled foul, and a nice play by Teresa Wilson. Maybe she's who these spectators at the GBK softball field need to coach them up. Fielding with no glove on. That pitch rising out of the zone. Had a nice chat with Teresa Wilson yesterday. Asked her how she's enjoying life in Asia, and she said she enjoys getting back to the States whenever she can. 1-2 pitch. Outside, count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. She coaches the Beijing Eagles, the NPF professional fast pitch team, as that nice off-speed pitch from 2 strikes out Liu looking. 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. First strike out of the game for Liu Yining. This professional team that plays out of Beijing but spends half of their year in North America, basically. That team is more or less the Chinese national team. They get a lot of extra experience. It's a 50-game regular season each year. A relatively young league for the best softball players, mostly in America, but it's also a team from Australia. As the number 9 hitter, Liu Li, after the nice tiptoe across to the first base bag last inning defensively, she is facing 2 with a 1-1 count. Another slow pitch delivered by 2, and that one is pulled foul. Liu well out in front of that one. The 1-2. That's hit out to right center field, and that will roll not quite to the wall. Long throw from the center fielder, but in safely at second with a 1-out double is Liu Li. That her first extra base hit of the tournament. Didn't quite roll to the wall, but Chen Miao Yi in center had a lot of ground to cover and threw off of her back foot. Throw just slightly late to the shortstop Lin Feng Chen covering at second base. More 1-out danger for the Chinese Taipei pitcher Tu Yatsing here in the bottom of the 4th. Top of the order, the ball hits the knee of Li Qi. So a hit batter for both teams here in the 4th inning. Just below the knee, thankfully might just have hit a fleshy part of the leg. It's a slow walk to first for Li Qi, but she's happy to stay in. And so 2 runners on with 1 out. That does mean the force play could be in effect at third base or second base now. But the pivotal offensive hero in the game, Li Huanup, her 2 RBI single gave China the lead. As now Zhang Yan is going to pinch run for Li Qi at first base.
China, 77 out.
I think that's probably fair enough. Li could return after this half inning, owing to the substitution rules in softball. Anyone that starts the game can leave once and then return. But it is Zhang Yan at first as Li Huan stands in. China trying to break this game open and ease their passage through to the gold medal game at 3 o'clock this afternoon. First pitch from 2 is head height and well out of the zone to Li for ball 1. Li, the 1-out double. She's at second. Another pitch out of the zone from 2, and this is getting more and more problematic for the Taiwanese as this fourth inning goes along. And in fact, that's going to be all, I think, for Tu Yating. On in relief, Lin Su-hua coming out of the bullpen with a 2-0 count to Li Huan. This is very rare. For what it's worth, if Li Huan were to walk in this at-bat, that would be charged to Tu Yating. Not really as though Tu has pitched badly, but just starting to come unglued here in the bottom of the fourth. That only the third base runner to reach against her in her inning and 2/3 pitched. But Lin Su-hua, who started the game against China in the group stage, lasted only 2 innings, gave up 3 earned runs on 3 hits and a pair of walks, also 1 hit batter and a wild pitch. Basically completing the cycle of bad results for a pitcher. Bad outcomes, I should say. Does give Li Huan something to think about here. She has the 2-0 count in her favor. So the warm-up pitch is complete. Lin had been throwing in the bullpen, and there's more action down there as well. A pair of Taiwanese pitchers getting ready. 5 pitchers in the Chinese Taipei squad of 17 players for this tournament, as the 2-0 pitch is sliced foul. Just nicking off the top of the protective fencing on its way into the stands. Lin Ying-shin and I think Tsai Chia-chen warming up as another strike from Lin Su-hua. Count was 2-0 when she came in. It's now even. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Li Huan. 2 on, 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. The very slow changeup flies well wide, and the count now full. Lin is ready. The payoff pitch is low for ball 4. So that walk will be charged to Tu Yating. Bases loaded with 1 out. Chinese Taipei had the bases loaded with 1 out last inning, but failed to score. That in the top half of the 4th inning. And it's Ren Min, who had an RBI single in the 1st inning, takes ball 1 low. Grounded to first in her other plate appearance in the 2nd inning. The left-handed pitcher, Lin Su-hua, 1-0. That's low, ball 2. The skies brightening over the GBK softball field, but the outlook darkening for Chinese Taipei right now. A walk will score a run. The 2-0 pitch is foul tipped by Ren Min for strike 1. Swinging away there with a 2-0 count was Ren. Chinese cheers coming from the 3rd base dugout. The 2-1 to Ran. Weakly grounded to the 2nd baseman on home for the force out. Yang Yiting to Li Tzu-shi. And again, just as happened to the Taiwanese in the top half of the inning, the bases loaded 1-out grounder leads to a force out at home plate. Everybody else goes around the merry-go-round. Ren to first, Li Huan to second, Li Chi, or beg your pardon, the pinch runner Zhang Yan to third. Shi Kailin, the cleanup hitter for China, up. Taking just inside maybe for ball one. Shi Kailin, the sacrifice bunt in the first inning, grounded out to the second baseman Yang in the third. Big pitch, through there for strike one. What a boost this would be to Yang Xianming and the entire Taiwanese team if they can escape this half inning with no runs scored. 1-1 pitch. Right back to the pitcher, fielded well by Lin, over to first. Retiring the side. The Taiwanese stranded 3 runners on base in the top half of the fourth, and the People's Republic of China does likewise in the bottom of the fourth. We are through 4 complete. Still our score, China 3, Chinese Taipei 1. A slightly longer than normal delay, I should say, here prior to the start of the fifth, because during the playoff round of the softball tournament, after 4 complete innings, the field maintenance team comes out. They remark the batter's boxes. They remark the approaches of the foul lines towards home plate, just to make sure that any bunted balls or any balls dribbled in front of the plate can be ruled correctly. There you see the line score on the screen. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for China. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for Chinese Taipei. The no errors for China is notable after their recent fielding woes. China, 9 errors in the tournament. That's the 3rd highest total of anyone. Only Indonesia with 10 and Hong Kong with 19 have more fielding mistakes. And that is not company that China wants to keep. By comparison, Taiwan, 5 errors in the tournament. The Philippines and Japan both with only 1 error. And you don't want to give up any free runners. As again back into the pitcher's circle goes Wang Lan. 4 innings pitched, the 1 run on 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and also the hit batter Lin Chiying in the previous inning. For Chinese Taipei at the start of the fifth, it will be their numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Yan Yi, Yang Yiting, and Li Tzuxi. Those are the first 3 hitters guaranteed to come to the plate here in the fifth. No thought of the mercy rule being invoked in this game just now. We should be going the distance in this bronze medal game. The preliminary final, the winner will advance to play Japan in the gold medal game at 3 p.m. this afternoon. And that first pitch from Wang to Yan in for a called strike one. Yan singled but was picked off first in the first inning. Grounded to first in the third and fouling this pitch back for strike two. Wang has allowed Taiwanese base runners in every inning. Taiwanese have left 6 runners on base in the game. That pitch grounded in the hole, base hits between the shortstop Li Huan and the third baseman Lu Ying. So the leadoff hit on the 0-2 pitch for Yan Yi. And will this spark a Taiwanese rally? Yang Yiting, the second baseman, involved in that bizarre rundown play along with Lai Meng-Ting back in the third inning. Grounded in orthodox fashion to the third baseman Lu in the first. She represents the tying run. Sixth hit for Taiwan in this game, the Taiwanese I should say. Don't want to open up the political can of worms, the relationship between the People's Republic of China and Chinese Taipei. Yang trying to bunt, I think, for a base hit rather than a sacrifice there, but off the end of the bat, foul for strike one. Certainly the softball players of these two teams have been getting along just fine. No animosity as the pitch. Another bunt shown, but this time pulled back in time by Yang. Count even at 1-1. That pitch is into the hole as well. 2 base hits in that same spot, back to back for Yan Yi and Yang Yiting. And Chinese Taipei really in business now in the top of the fifth. Outside pitch. Yang went with it. Nothing that Li Huan at short could do for China. And up comes Li Tzuxi. Now 6 for 23 in the tournament with that solo home run against the Philippines in the last group stage game for Chinese Taipei. No hint of Wang being removed. She's ready. Li stands in and takes strike one over the outside half of the plate. Li, the RBI single, knocking home the only Taiwanese run in this game thus far back in the first inning. Struck out looking to end the third. This pitch up the middle, it's off the body of the pitcher. The throw to first in time by Lu Ying to just get the slow-footed Li. The other runners both advance a base. Excellent defense from Lu there. Not good strides being taken by the runner Li. Catchers tend to be slow historically across both softball and baseball, but Li, instead of reaching out with each stride, was almost tiptoeing up the first base line. Still 2 runners in scoring position now for Lin Feng Chen. Still only 1 out in the inning. Lin flied to deep center field in the first. That would score a run here on a sacrifice fly. The 0-1 pitch. That's a bouncing ball and double clutch by the second baseman Liu Li. Gets the out at first, but the run scores. So Chinese Taipei have halved their deficit in this game. An RBI ground out for Lin Feng Chen. And the score, China 3, Chinese Taipei 2 now in this game. The runner, Yang Yi-ting, over at third base now with 2 down. Representing the tying run as the first pitch to Chen Xiai outside the zone. Chen with a single and a strikeout in this game. 1-0 pitch. Taken just outside. Wang might want to work around Chen, who has been one of the star hitters in this competition. 10 hits for her, only 5 hits in the tournament for Su in the on-deck circle. Where did that pitch miss? 3-0 now the count. Chen again, 2 home runs in the tournament, both against the Republic of Korea. 3-0 count, will she be swinging? I think she might have been, but we'll never know. It was low for ball 4, so Chen on base for the second time in this game. Runners now at the corners with 2 outs. And that will bring up Su Yishuan, who has had a good game in fairness, singled in the second, walked in the fourth. We're going to have a pinch runner for Chen at first. It'll be Xi Jinping. This should be just a temporary substitution to get the slower Chen off the base paths. A little bit of a breather before returning at first base in the bottom of the 5th. The tactical wheels turning for both teams in this game. Runners at the corners, 2 out, the pitch. Runner goes to second base, strike 1 to Su. But Shi with the stolen base advances 60 feet. She's in scoring position now, so a single could give Chinese Taipei the lead here. The 0-1 pitch looped into left. It's just foul though, by a couple of yards anyway. And so Su behind 0-2. Wang allowing the 1 run in this inning to score. But trying to get out of trouble again. The 0-2. That's outside for ball 1. On deck, Lin Chi-ying for Chinese Taipei. Loud voices from the Chinese Taipei players in the dugout as that ball into right field, a base hit, 1 run in. The throw from the right fielder at the plate, safe is Xi Jinping, and Chinese Taipei in front 4-3 on the 2 RBI single from Su Yishuan. reaching out, the 1-2 pitch. Easily in to score was the lead runner, Yang Yiting. And then also scoring the pinch runner, Shi Qingping, her speed, helping the Taiwanese grab the lead here. First pitch strike to Lin Shiying, the seventh batter to come to the plate in this half inning. That's a called strike. Now strike two, the count on Lin. Not the first time in this competition, I should mention, that Shi Kailin, the Chinese catcher, not taking up a good position in front of the plate, not blocking the path of the runner Shi Qingping, rounding third, heading home. Count now 1-2 from Lin, from Wang Lan to Lin Shiying. That pitch is pulled foul into the fencing. Count stays 1-2. 3 runs scored on 3 hits and a walk in this half inning. Finally, the Taiwanese taking advantage of the opportunity as that ball dribbled to the first baseman, Xu. She tags the bag herself, and that ends the top of the 5th. But a 3-run rally for Chinese Taipei. Yan Yi scored, Yang Yiting scored, and the pinch runner Shi Qingping scored. Going to the bottom of the 5th, it's now Chinese Taipei 4, China 3. You can see from the line score there, this game has seesawed back and forth. Chinese Taipei taking the 1-0 lead in the top half of the first. China equalizing in the bottom half of the first and then pushing 2 across in the second. But now the 3-run rally for Chinese Taipei in the top of the 5th has given them the lead again. And Lin Su-hua stands to be the winning pitcher of record for Chinese Taipei. As back into the game, as predicted, comes Chen Chi-ai. A very good pinch running substitution by the Taiwanese head coach Yang Xianming. As the speed of Shi Qingping rather, getting her across the plate in time on that 2 RBI single from Su Yishuan. And it's Chen Jia, the number 5 hitter for China, due up to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Squares as if to bunt, but the pitch well low and away for ball 1. Chen popped out to the shortstop in the first and grounded to second in the 3rd inning. 0-1 pitch is down and away. Well, that was the 1-0 pitch, beg your pardon. Now 2-0. Lin, a 2-0. That's just wide of the outside corner for ball 3. And the last thing that Lin wants to do is allow this first hitter in the 5th inning to get on base. 3-0. taking all the way, strike one. Chen, then the captain Lu Ying due up second, and Xu Jia in the hole here to start the bottom of the fifth. 3-1 pitch. Dribbled off the foot, I think, of the batter Chen. So the count now full. Lin Su Hua battling back. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chen Jia. Chen, the 28-year-old center fielder, waits for the pitch in the dirt, ball 4. So the leadoff hitter is on base for the People's Republic of China. Lu Ying up next. She walked in her last at bat. That was the first walk given up by Lin to Chen Jia. The third baseman, left-handed hitter for China, stands in. The first pitch in there for strike one. And again, maybe a bit of kidology showing the bunt there before pulling the bat back. Lu Ying. Chen Qiai at first, Su Yixuan at third. Coming in as the bunt is laid down, but it goes foul. So Lu ordered to sacrifice, but now behind in the count 0-2. Let's see if the bunt signal gets taken away by Teresa Wilson. Japanese in the crowd here, scouting out the opposition ahead of the gold medal game later on. That's a Japanese fan in uniform, by the way, not one of the players. 0-2 pitch outside. Li Tzuxi behind home plate, thinking of the snap throw to first, but just eats the ball up. 1-2 the count now on Lu Ying. Lin ready. The pitch. Off speed. You could see Lu was about to lunge early there, but the pitch outside the zone, so 2-2 the count. That pitch pulled foul toward the end of the bat of Lu Ying. Still the count 2-2. China has scored 5 runs against Chinese Taipei on Tuesday in a 5-0 shutout win. They will need to match that total to advance to the bronze medal game as things stand, or to the gold medal game, I mean. The loser of this contest will pick up the bronze medal. Not an outcome that either of them want. The 2-2, grounded to short. To second for the force, on to first. The throw high. I don't think Lu would have been out anyway. So Chen Jia forced out at second. 6-4, the shortstop number 6 in the score sheet position listings, and the second baseman number 4. Lu reaching on the fielder's choice with 1 out for Xu Jia, who singled and scored in the second, grounded to second in the third. First pitch to her, off speed outside, and quickly out of her crouch behind the plate, Li Tzuxi. Again, thinks about the throw to first, but decides better of it. Lin lunging forward, the bunt down, and the throw to second base will not count, as that was ruled foul. Quick call by home plate umpire Takashi Hashimoto, who you see will now dust off home plate again. Watch it here. Just went behind home plate. That would have been a force out at second had it been on the plate when Li picked it up. 1-1 count now on the number 7 hitter for China. Xu takes this one outside for ball 2. on deck for China. 1 on, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch, foul tip and caught by Li Sushi. Doesn't really matter. Strike 2. That would have been an important catch for strike 3. Xu Jia, 7 hits in the tournament now, including a home run against Japan. 2-2 pitch is sliced toward press row, but the fencing getting in the way. Press row fully occupied for this preliminary final, the quote-unquote bronze medal game, but bronze goes to the losers in this one. The winners face Japan for gold this afternoon. The 2-2 pitch, off speed, fooling Xu Jia. She swung way too soon. And 2 outs now with the runner at first in the bottom of the 5th. First strikeout for the relief pitcher Lin Su-hua, the 3rd pitcher for Chinese Taipei in this game. And strike 1 called to Liu Yining, the number 8 hitter for China. Liu, the infield single and scoring in the 2nd inning, struck out looking in the 4th. Here she is at the end of the 5th inning, perhaps. Pitch in the dirt, plucked nicely by Li. Count even 1-1 to Liu Yining. Lin doing much better in this appearance against China than she did in the group stage as that ball pulled to the 3rd baseman. Su to first, Chen the catch, and 3 outs for China in the 5th. Through 5 complete, 2 innings remaining in this bronze medal game. Chinese Taipei rallying from 3-1 down to be 4-3 up going into the top of the 6th. Chinese Taipei, a pinch hitter coming to the plate to start the 6th inning. It's Liu Xuan coming on in place of Chen Miao-yi, at least temporarily. Liu only a single plate appearance in the tournament, that a walk as a pinch hitter against Indonesia. And here slaps one into the hole for a seeing eye base hit. Surprise, surprise, Liu getting a hit in this tournament. Not a lot of pace on that slap to the left side of the infield, but it split the 3rd baseman Liu and the shortstop Li perfectly. And so back to the top of the Taiwanese batting order, Lai Mengting, 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored, swings at strike 1. Grounded to the pitcher to end the 4th inning, did Lai. That with the bases loaded. Here she takes ball 1. Is Yang Xianming thinking about playing for the 1 run in this inning? Sacrificing the runner over to 2nd. Or does he want to try and get a bigger lead, go for gold as it were. As this ball to the second baseman, only played a first for Liu Li as leaping over the ball and making it safely to second, Liu Xuan. Again, just as good as a bunt with the possibility of a hit. Liu Li rightfully taking the safer option there. Runner in scoring position, one out for Yan Yi, who singled and scored last inning as the leadoff hitter. Also singled back in the first, but picked off by the catcher, Shi Kailin for China. A costly out that may have cost the Taiwanese a run in this game. Quick chat now between home plate umpire Hashimoto and Taiwanese head coach Yang.
Chinese Taipei, 22 out.
Looks like a pinch runner, and it's Chen Miaoyi now going down to second base in the place of the person who pinch hit for her. Slightly unusual that, but Chen deemed to be the faster base runner. Not sure why that substitution wasn't made earlier. Maybe just getting a little break there, Chen. And strike two called to Yan Yi at the plate now. Wang Lan, 4 runs on 8 hits allowed in this game. The pitch, that just missing, ball 1. Yan Yi 2 for 3 in this game. Means she now has 10 hits in the tournament on 27 at bats. 1-2 pitch. That is scooped and caught by the shortstop Li Huan for the second out. Soft line out by Yan. Runner Chen forced to stay at second base, alertly not straying from the bag. She could have been out for the third out on a double play. We've seen that happen several times in the tournament. Yang Yi-Ting up with runner at second, 2 out, but grounds to the first baseman. It's dropped, but then flipped on to Liu covering, so Xu Jia recovers her composure, able to make the out at first. Yang Yi-Ting is now 1 for 4 in this game. And Chinese Taipei leaving another runner on the base paths. 8 runners in total left for Chinese Taipei. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's Chinese Taipei 4, China 3. Heading into the bottom half of this 6th inning in the quote-unquote bronze medal game, the preliminary final, the winner advancing to play Japan in the gold medal game in just over 3 hours from now. Liu Li, the number 9 hitter for China, takes strike 1 over the outside corner from Lin Su Hua. All 3 Taiwanese pitchers have now gone 1 2/3 innings in this game. Lin yet to concede a hit. 2 gave up 1 hit and a pair of walks. As strike 2 cut on and missed by Liu. Chu Anju, who started this game for Chinese Taipei, gave up all 3 runs on 5 hits and a walk. So Lin Long relief stint for her here. She's doing very well. The 0-2 well outside to Liu. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Liu, the surprising double back in the 4th, but struck out looking in the 2nd. Liu forced out at home with 1 out in the 4th. And that ball in the hole again. Long throw for the shortstop. It'll be late from Lin Feng Chen. And the infield single, 2nd hit of the game for Liu Lili. Promising start for the Chinese. Their number 9 hitter on base with the top of the order due up. And it's back to Li Qi, returning to the game after being pinch run for by Zhang Yan back in the 4th inning. Li Qi has reached base all 3 times in this game. Once on a single, once on a walk, once being hit by the pitch. As a quick conference with home plate umpire Hashimoto by Chinese Taipei head coach Yang Xianming. Leadoff hitter aboard for the People's Republic of China in the home half of the 6th inning, trying to rally from this 4-3 deficit against Chinese Taipei. Bunt not offered at by Li Qi. Li now 6 for 17 across this Asian Games event. 1-0 pitch. That is bunted. That's going to be a tough play to make. Good throw, though, by the 3rd baseman Su to the 2nd baseman Yang covering. Liu Lili advancing to 2nd on the sacrifice bunt. See Su Yishuan's momentum carrying her toward her team's dugout up the first base line, but made the quick throw before she went into the runner's lane, making the angle that much more difficult. Now it's Li Huan, 2 RBI single in the 2nd and a walk in her 3 trips to the plate. Tying run at 2nd base with 1 out. Li Huan and then Ren Min, the 2 batters with the responsibility of tying this game here potentially. That ball up the middle, it's through for a single. Chen fields in center field, to throw home is not in time, and back to first, sliding head first is Li Huan, who now has a pair of RBI singles, 3 ribbies in the game. Liu Lili scores the tying run, and it's 5-5 now in this preliminary final. Knocked right back up the box by Li Huan. It's 4-4, beg your pardon, not 5-5, as that pitch fouled away at the plate by Ren Min. One of these teams will have to score 5 runs to win at some stage. Will it be the Chinese here in the bottom of the 6th? Number 55 offers the bunt, but misses, so the count now 0-2, not 1-1 as you see on your screen graphic there. Ren Min at the plate. She had the other run batted in back in the 1st inning to open the scoring for China. That pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely and collected by Li behind the dish. The scoreboard in the stadium says 1 ball, 2 strikes. On the screen it says 2 balls and 1 strike. I believe it is 1 and 2 to Ren Min. The pitch taken for the strike. And that is indeed the 3rd strike to Ren. Second strikeout of the game for Lin Su-hua. So 2 down, the runner still at first, Li Huan. And Shi Kai Lin 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Her stats thus far for the day offensively. That pitch is away for ball 1 to Shi. Very good game of softball here. The winner again will play Japan in the gold medal game. That coming up at 3 p.m. GMT +7 is the liner from Shi straight to the first baseman Chen Chi-ai. China strands the runner at first, but they get the tying run. The RBI single from Li Huan plating Liu Li. 6 complete in Jakarta. Chinese Taipei 4, China 4 our score. Well, we've had only 1 extra inning game in this softball tournament at the 18th Asian Games thus far, and it involved Chinese Taipei when they defeated the Koreans 3-2 in their opening game back on Sunday afternoon. Both teams are wasting opportunities. 9 runners left on base in the game for China and 8 for Chinese Taipei. As strike 1 just catches the corner from Wang Lan, still pitching to the leadoff hitter for Chinese Taipei in the 7th, Li Tzu-shi, the catcher. Li, an RBI single in the 1st, struck out looking in the 3rd, and grounded into the 1-5-3 put out in the 5th. The ground ball that was knocked down by Wang deflected to Liu, who threw on to Shu at first. And Wang quickly ahead of Li, 0-2 here after that second pitch fouled back to the screen. The 0-2 from Wang. Swung on and missed. Li reaching outside the zone. 3-pitch strikeouts by Wang is her 4th of the game. On an 0-2 count, the hitter will often have to protect the plate, even the ones which are marginal, and that was definitely outside the strike zone. First pitch over the outside corner again to Lin Feng Chen this time, the Taiwanese shortstop. Had the RBI ground out to second base in the 5th to plate Yan Yi. 0 for 3 in the game. That pitch outside for ball 1. Wang now 6 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 earned runs allowed, 3 walks, and now the 3 strikeouts. 1-1 is tipped foul. That'll be strike 2. Lin made very good contact in her first at bat, but flied out to deep center field. Wang showing no signs of fatigue. 101 pitches in. The 1-2, that one is blasted, but right at the center fielder. Chen Jia almost in her tracks. Another hard hit ball to center field by Lin Feng Chen. But picking out Chen Jia in center, and 2 quickly down for Chinese Taipei in the top half of the 7th inning. Chen Chi-ai at the plate for Chinese Taipei. Strike 1, outside corner. Wang painting the black on the outside half in this half inning for China. Generous strike zone out there from umpire Hashimoto. And this pitch is blooped into left field, but that'll go foul. And again, an 0-2 count on a Taiwanese batter in this half inning. Chen walked and scored the go-ahead run at the time in the 5th inning for Chinese Taipei. The 0-2 pitch, up and away. 1-2 now the count. Late drama guaranteed here at the GBK softball field. The 1-2 pitch is scored foul towards the Taiwanese dugout. Chinese Taipei won silver 4 years ago in Incheon. The People's Republic of China won silver in Guangzhou in their home country in 2010. Chinese Taipei won silver in Doha back in 2006. That pitch just away. 2-2 now the count. These two countries were joint silver medalists in 2002 in Busan when the final day of action was rained off. All 4 times in those tournaments, Japan coming up with the gold. And this pitch grounded. Good play made by Xu Jia, and she will beat Chen Chi-ai to the bag. So 3 up, 3 down for Chinese Taipei in the top half of the 7th. 1 run would win it for China in the bottom of the 7th. We will be there to see it after this short break. Chinese Taipei in the top half of the 7th inning, the first 1-2-3 inning for either team in this game. And it sets up the table beautifully for the People's Republic of China in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1 run will win this game. If not, we go on to extra innings as a pitch from Lin Su-hua is outside for ball 1 to Chen Jia. Chen 0 for 2 with a walk in this game thus far. That pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. If we go to the 8th inning, at that stage, each team will start with a runner on second in each half inning. The 1-1 pitch is bounced up to the plate by Lin. Count 2-1 to Chen Jia. The idea there being more likely for runs to score and more likely for the game to end sooner than it might. You get a lot of pitching duels in international softball. As a substitution here, again in the middle of an at-bat by one of the Chinese. Over at first, Lin Pei Chun replacing Chen Shi-ai. Defensive substitution. Chen having just ended the 7th inning at the plate. She's now done for the game. So interesting decision here made by the Taiwanese coach Yang, taking one of his best hitters out of the game for good, but playing every inning as though the game might end right here. So short-term thinking encouraged at this stage of a softball game. The count 2-1 to Chen Jia. And that ball dribbled back to the fence right in front of the scoring table here at the GBK softball field. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chen Jia. Lin Su-hua ready to make the pitch, but bowls one up there. Well inside of the leg stump in cricketing parlance. And the count full to Chen. Huge pitch coming up from Lin Su-hua. Here it is. And it's grounded right to the second baseman. Yang to Lin Pei Chun at first. Battling at bat from Chen Jia, but she is retired. And there's one away. Pitch just over the outside corner. Chen had to reach for it and could only meekly ground it to Yang. First defensive chance for Lin Pei Chun, coming on in relief and making the putout. Swinging strike as Lu Ying ahead of the off-speed pitch. Officially 0 for 2 in this game with a walk back in the 3rd inning. Lu grounded to short in the 2nd and grounded to short into a fielder's choice in the 5th. Keeping Lin Feng Chen busy on the left half of the Taiwanese infield. 1-1 pitch. Outside corner, strike 2. If you're unfamiliar with softball or baseball, you see all these pitches, they appear to be off home plate and outside, but as long as the home plate umpire Takashi Hashimoto is consistent in calling those outside strikes, neither team can really complain. Home plate umpiring more an art than a science, really, at least as baseball and softball rules are presently configured. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Lu. The pitch, that's just outside of Hashimoto's strike zone. So again, a full count. Chen Jia grounded out with a 3-2 count against her to start the inning. Same situation facing Lu Ying. And the pitch from Lin Su-hua is lined down the left field line, but slicing well foul. This game well into its 3rd hour now. And the longer it goes, the less recuperation time potentially available ahead of the gold medal game. Japan awaiting the winner of this one at 3 p.m. Jakarta time, GMT +7. And again, the payoff pitch to Lu. Off speed, this one up into the press row. I think it's a Japanese journalist in the second row. Could have gone for the diving catch, but discretion the better part of valor there. So again, the full count. Lin Suhua to Liu Ying. And that ball blooped into right field for a single. Second time Liu Ying has reached base in this game. And the winning run is on with one out in the bottom of the seventh. Good pitch from Lin Suhua. It was over the inside corner. Not great contact from Liu, but lifting it just enough. And so up comes Xu Jia. Over to first base goes a pinch runner. It's Wang Bei
Team China.
relieving Liu Ying.
Out. 15 in.
Wang Bei primarily serving as a pinch hitter in this tournament for Teresa Wilson and China. Started at third base in place of Liu Ying in the Page 1 versus 2 playoff game yesterday against Japan. And now a pitching change as Chu Anju checking back in for Chinese Taipei. Lin Suhua's day is done.
9 out.
So Lin, exactly 3 innings pitched. 1 run on 3 hits given up, a walk and 2 strikeouts as Chu, who started the game and gave up 3 earned runs in an inning and 2/3 on 5 hits and a walk, back on and in to try and save this game, keep it going into extra innings for Chinese Taipei. This game certainly rivaling Chinese Taipei's 3-2 win over the Philippines as the best game of the tournament for my money. It's gone back and forth, both teams scoring a fair number of runs. Many chances created, not so many chances taken. China has left 9 runners on base in this game, 8 left on base for Chinese Taipei. Wang Bei, the pinch runner, may well stay in the game defensively to replace Liu Ying. But that is a decision which may not have to be made by Teresa Wilson if China can score the winning run here in the bottom half of the 7th. Wang representing that winning run at first base. Xu Jia at the plate, 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a run scored when she singled back in the second, showing bunt, taking strike 1. Xu now 7 for 14 in this tournament, an even 500 batting average, had a solo home run against Japan yesterday. She could end it with 1 swing here. The 0-1 pitch, instead she's bunting. It's a hard bunt, but the play to first made by Su. The third baseman to the second baseman, Yang, covering, so the sacrifice does get down. And Wang Bei over to second. So the fate of this game at the moment rests upon the pinch hitter for the People's Republic of China, Xu Qianwen. Xu played in right field against Japan yesterday, went 0 for 2 in right field. That her first start in this tournament. Had a pinch hit against Indonesia, an RBI single. If she can repeat that feat, that could potentially end this game for China. 4-4 our score, 2 out, bottom half of the 7th inning. Xu Anju on in relief of Lin Suhua in this inning. First pitch to Xu is strike one, outside corner at the knees. Perfect location from Chu. Chu to Xu. The 0-1 pitch coming up. That ball well off the plate for ball one. The potential winning run 120 feet away. The pitch lined foul down the third base line for strike two. Again, Japan awaiting the winner of this game. The gold medal match in the softball tournament to start at 3 p.m. about 2 3/4 hours from now. And the pitch from Chu with a 1-2 count. There it goes, but it's low and away for ball two. Li Li, the Chinese second baseman who singled and scored in the previous inning, the tying run, she's in the on-deck circle for China. And now Chu, the 2-2. Off speed, low for ball three. Full count now to Xu Qianwen. Xu had only 6 plate appearances at the World Championships and a single hit. Can she be the hero here? She swings and misses for strike three. Xu Anju is pumped up. Her first strikeout in relief here, coming back into the game and getting the high and outside strike past Xu Qianwen. We go to extra innings in Jakarta. The preliminary final all knotted up at 4 runs apiece, heading into the top of the 8th. So into extra innings we go. No sign of respite for Wang Lan, beg your pardon. She's already thrown 108 pitches, and again, in the extra inning format in softball, a runner placed at second to start the inning. And so the sacrifice bunt gotten down, and the only play to first. So the runner moves over to third base. The sacrifice bunt successfully executed by Su Yixuan. Lin Pei Chun, who made the final out of the 7th inning, comes in as the runner at second to start the 8th. And the potential go-ahead run 60 feet away with Lin Shiying at the plate, the designated player for Chinese Taipei. And that pitch will score the run. Long throw from short in time to get Lin out. But that ball was hit into a slot, which could allow the runner, Lin Pei Chun, to head straight home. And so Lin scores the go-ahead run. And 5-4 our score now in Chinese Taipei's favor with nobody on and 2 out. And that pitch fouled back by Chen Miaoyi. And that pitch off the glove of the first baseman, and in time back to the bag, Xu Jia, the rare 3-4-3 put out. Off of Xu's glove, able to just find the bag as she went back. So a hectic, rather quick, but productive inning for Chinese Taipei. They get the run on no hits. A sacrifice bunt moving Lin Pei Chun along to third base, and then the ground out to short by Lin Chi Ying means the Chinese must equalize the Taiwanese if they want to extend this game into the ninth inning. We will keep it right here. 5-4 the score. The RBI ground out for Lin. She's now 0 for 3 in this game, but she might have just made the most important contribution. Not much that Wang Lan did wrong on the pitcher's rubber for China there. As Chu Anju remaining in the game, Xu Chanwen will start at second base here in the bottom half of the eighth. And China must score. Big advantage for the team batting second at this stage of the game because they know exactly what they need to do. Li Li, the Chinese second baseman, due up first here. As you see, it is Liu Yining actually back into the game in left field as the pinch runner. As that substitution made, so Xu Chanwen's preliminary final performance is over almost before it had begun. And the rising fastball overhead height to Liu Li for ball one. The light hitting Liu, a double and a single, an infield single back in the sixth that led her to score the tying run in this game. Pitch from Chu is poked into left field, and on rushing, the sliding catch made by Yan Yi. Liu forced to hold at second. Liu in, that may be one for the cameras. I think she could have caught that ball standing up. But a good play either way, and one down. Li Qi, the leadoff hitter for China, back up. Needing to make something happen. First pitch, outside corner, strike one. She has reached base with a single, a walk, and a hit by pitch in this game. Sacrifice bunted in the sixth. Here's a foul ball just to our right here in commentary for this bronze medal game. Bronze medals for the losers, a date with Japan for the winners in this one. And Li Qi behind in the count, 0-2. Teresa Wilson chewing that gum furiously in the third base coaching box. The 0-2 pitch over to the third baseman. Nice snag by Su, on to first for the second out. And again, the runner, Liu, forced to remain at second base. And all of China's hopes resting now upon Li Huan, their offensive hero in this game, with 3 RBIs on a pair of singles, also a walk back in the fourth inning. And she must drive in another run or at least get on base to keep this game going. First pitch from Chu, in for a called strike. Chinese Taipei trying to reach the Asian Games gold medal game for the second straight tournament. The 0-1 pitch from Chu Anju to Li Huan. Just missing the outside corner for ball one. Ren Min in the on-deck circle. Will she get a chance to play a further part in this game? Lee crowding the plate. The 1-1 pitch. Just missing inside. That's where the plate crowding by Lee can kind of pay off. That pitch very close to her body, but it was also very close to the inside corner. Nerves a jangle on the Taiwanese bench. The 2-1 is fouled to the left and well away from the Chinese Taipei fielders, but potentially the final strike against Li Huan. Quick meeting at the mound. Li Tzu-shi having a chat with Chu Anju about what pitch he wants to throw. The runner down at second base can sometimes steal the signals here and tip the batter off as to what pitch is coming. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count to Li Huan. A place in the gold medal game on the line. Chu Anju, the pitch. High, ball 3. The count going full to Li Huan, the Chinese shortstop. 6 hits in the tournament. 3 RBIs in the game. Taiwanese outfielders fairly shallow. The pitch just missing for ball 4. And Lee doesn't realize that is ball 4. More late drama in Jakarta at the GBK softball field. The potential winning run at first base now with Ren Min coming up. And a big conference now in the Chinese Taipei pitcher's circle. Their head coach Yang Shenming out to chat with everyone in the infield. For China, it's Liu Yining still at second base, where she's been since the start of the inning. Li Huan just making it to first base with the walk. Conference over, and Ren Min stands in. RBI single in the first, grounded to first in the second, fielder's choice in the fourth, struck out looking in the sixth. And the first pitch from Chu is just wide of the first baseman, Lin Pei Chun, for Chinese Taipei. 2 feet closer to the first base bag, and that might have been snagged to end the game. Instead, the count 0-1 to Ren Min. She can breathe again. See Liu nearly made it home after the contact. Now back at second base for the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 on the corner. Umpire Hashimoto has been so consistent with that outside pitch. Chu again getting the benefit of the doubt. Ren in an 0-2 hole. Chu setting. Winding and pitching. Just missing again outside corner. So close. Experience from the catcher there, just settling down her battery mate, Chu, on the mound. Taiwanese bench wanted strike 3. Instead, the 1-2 count. Chu, the pitch. Grounded weakly foul and wide of third base. A dramatic finish to the 8th inning. Extra frames. Free baseball for everyone here at the GBK softball field. Ran Min the 1-2 count against her. Chu is ready. And the pitch. Grounded to the second baseman. Easy play. Yang over to first. And Chinese Taipei is through to the gold medal game. Look at what it means to the Taiwanese players. Yang Yi-Tsing gobbling that ground ball up over to Lin Pei-chun, the defensive replacement at first base. And Chinese Taipei, by the narrowest of margins, their second extra inning win in this tournament. After they beat the Koreans in 8 innings to open the competition, they will advance to play Japan in 2.5 hours from now in the gold medal softball game at these 18th Asian Games. Post-game handshakes all around. A brilliant game of softball here. Chinese Taipei managing to squeak home the winning run in the 8th inning on the ground ball out by Lin Shiying. This game seesawed back and forth throughout. Chinese Taipei scoring in the first on the 2-out single by Li Tzu-shi. China battling back an RBI hit from Ren Min, who made the final out in this game. Then it was up to Li Huan. 2 RBIs for her on a single in the second inning. Wang Lan pitching this entire game, and eventually Chinese Taipei catching up with her. The 2 RBI single from Su Yishuan, giving them the 4-3 lead before the tying hit by Li Huan, her 3rd RBI of the game back in the 6th. And then into extra frames, and this ground ball out from Lin Shiying, scoring Lin Pei-chun with the winning run, and the final out eventually over to first base. The ground ball out, Yang Yi-Tsing to Lin Pei-chun. Right there, that the room service hop, the easy play, and Chinese Taipei, huge celebrations for them. They must quickly get a bite to eat and get ready for the gold medal game against Japan. Just to confirm, Japan, the presumptive gold medal favorites, the clear top team in
AS
Asia.
Play รวมความบันเทิงคุณภาพ เปิดความสนุกทุกที่ทุกเวลา
ส่งต่อความมั่นใจ สู้ไปด้วยกันนะครับ